Hello, this is the Harboring Light. I'm Mary. I give a conservative perspective about the world around me. So this episode focuses in on Ireland, specifically the foods. And I'm going to also touch it up with my thoughts by adding in when my husband's husband, let me say that again. When my husband was in the military and his experience, he went to Dublin and the food that he had there, and specifically with the breakfast food. All right, so here we go. Let's dig in. All right, so for me, Ireland, and again, of course, it's only from what I've read and seen on television. It's all about the importance of nature and the importance of giving back. And I appreciate the listeners out there from Ireland giving me your thoughts about the aspect of cuisine and food, and the aspect of the agricultural process within understanding that it's important to get back to the basics of knowing where your food comes from by protecting the animals and the land. And I just get that whole aspect of everything when I think about Ireland. And so when my husband he was in the army and he served in the Iraq War. And so he told me about the experiences that he had when he was in Dublin. And then he was telling me about the aspect of how hearty the food is and how much he loved it. And so I'm going to talk about how, and then also I find this quite interesting. So the aspect of tipping. So in Ireland, specifically, when you're in a restaurant or things like that, as far as tipping goes, that's not really a thing. It's not something that is, expected to do. So that says a lot to the aspect of the food, of the food industry. Now, this isn't only tied to the food industry. This goes into, different service industry. For instance, let's say a running joke. I saw a commercial where it say a personal trainer, wanting you to give them a tip, or specifically to go into the aspect of coffee shops, of how it's expected to get it's one of those hidden things. You don't have to give, but it would be a whole lot more. It'd just be more appreciative if you do tip. So, that goes into saying the different perspectives that is seen as far as food and service in other countries. That's a separate, you can if you want to, but really that's not something you should, buy into. It's not something that's forced upon you. All right, so here we go. Let me find that for you, that article. Okay. one more minute here. Okay, so. Okay. All right, so. The traditional Irish breakfast, a feast for kings or a queen. There is an old motto that says, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dine like a pauper. Meaning it is wise to start the day with a large cooked typical Irish breakfast or full Irish fry. Such a motto could very much be applied to the traditional full Irish breakfast. It is a meal that will fill you up and give the ability for you to have the energy to make the most of a full day's travel around the countryside while you're on vacation in Ireland. And this is from Discovery Ireland Vacation. And of course, I will link all of the sources that I'm reading for you in this episode. So a large cooked breakfast of meat, bacon, sausages, and black and white pudding. Eggs, vegetables, and potato all fried in creamy butter. It is served with a generous helping of homemade Irish soda or brown breakfast for soaking, and washed down with a strong cup of breakfast tea, such as berry or lion's tea, depending on where you are, and a glass of orange juice. That sounds good. It is a meal that was traditionally concocted to prepare one for a full day heavy-duty work on the farm on a cold winter morning, and was comprised of the best local and homemade farm-produced all cooked and butter and fried pans. While today is not possible, let me say that again. While today it is not possible to be eaten on most work mornings, the traditional full Irish serves as a staple treat for most households to indulge in on a lazy Sunday morning or the last reading the Sunday papers. And it's not just conformed to mornings, it is a meal that can be eaten at any hour of the day, depending on your liking. And also, I'd like to know, as far as heritage, getting back to the salt of the matter, the roots, too, about, now this comes to my mind, too, about the, as far as immigration with different, the aspects with different, specifically different cultures coming into Ireland and overtaking, as far as what they see as the way they want Ireland to be, or the Irish nation to be. And I don't know, that's really strange, because here in America, specifically with people, who have the conservative bent, or more or less with the Republican bent, but there are Democrats that you see things in a balanced way. It's hard to find, but they are out there. And then libertarian and so forth. So my point I'm getting at is that when you come to another country, especially from the immigrant point of view, and not having that appreciation of the nationalism, that's quite sad. And I'd like to know, you all who are in Ireland who listen to me, what your thoughts about that. It would be greatly appreciated. And then also everyone else who listens to me, I'd like to know what your thought about the political upheaval with the structure, as far as immigration influx in Ireland, and how that's tearing the country, dividing the country and everything. So either feel free, as of today, as of now. So either feel free to email me, follow me on X, follow me on Substack, give me comments on Substack, or of course YouTube. Fill up those comments, would be greatly appreciated. And also I want to add in this too, that on Sunday I will post my second episode for Messages in a Bottle. And to hear the content and my take about the P. Diddy situation, become a supporter, and you can hear that on you can hear that supporter content on Sunday. All right, so let's get back to it. While opinions may be divided on what constitutes an Irish breakfast from household to household, the main ingredient remains the same, with the very best of Irish local ingredients comprising of meats such as good line bacon or rashers, best of local sausages, black and white pudding, which are a type of sausage made of pork meat. Oh, that's interesting. So I was thinking they were actually saying pudding as in the dessert. So they mean pudding as the sausage. Okay. So oats and spices and pork blood and black pudding. Okay. I guess they're saying here with that putting sausage in the pudding. But you all who are from Ireland, fill me in on that. Educate me. So eggs, mushrooms, tomatoes, and cold cooked potatoes and potato bread are optional. These ingredients are then fried in a little knob of Irish butter in a frying pan and served with a helping of homemade bread, butter, and jam at the side, and finished off with a cup of tea or orange juice. And then also, if you're interested in making this, it gives you the recipe. All right, so let me go into the last segment that I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to talk about different hidden food delights in the heartlands of Ireland. So this, again, is an article from Discovery Island. So it says, Gleeson Townhouse Country roast common. So handmade, homemade, and every plate prepared with passion is what husband and wife team Emma and Mary Gleeson promised at Gleeson's Townhouse and Restaurant in their 19th century house has recently been restored and is the backdrop of some seriously good homemade delicacies. The emphasis on the menu is organic, and the townhouse is open for breakfast throughout the evening. So, magical dinners. So if you enjoy the finer things in life, then you won't want to miss out on award-winning chef Neven McGuire's McNeen House. So restaurant and cookery school and Black Lion Cabin as one of Ireland's most loved chefs. His renowned restaurant in Ireland is a hidden heartland books up fast away. So if you're lucky enough to get a reservation, you'll be treated to one of Ireland's greatest fine dining experiences. So cottage restaurant, country lit trim, just 5 minutes outside of the Carrick on Shannon is the quaint village of Jamestown and the friendly traditional cottage restaurant. So the chef fuses wholesome Irish flavors with the Malaysian roots to create beautifully presented fusion meals. The restaurant's garden is filled with plum trees and the polytunnels, providing the restaurants with some of their high-quality local ingredients. So the incredible thyme on the banks of River Shannon and the heart of the historic Athlone has built a reputation for crafting exciting modern Irish cuisine. Owner and chef John Coffey and his wife Tara set out to showcase the talent and passion of the Midlands' fabulous producers. The changing menu gives a great snapshot of the diversity and quality of the local artisans. Also, les tarts, petites, the country rose common. You can't miss the Les Petites Tarts, and it is a purple facade. It sets the tone for a welcoming meal and lovely surrounding. And it does look very good, these treats here, these baked goods. The tasty homemade desserts are worth the trip along with their organic. I'm looking at the picture in the source, so you know what I'm talking about. So it's fair trade coffee. It's the perfect way to top off your visit to Rose Common. So that's quite interesting. For what I understand, fair trade coffee is all about, they don't do exportation measures as far as the coffee bean going, and the aspect of picking the beans or going into war or torn or drug-ridden countries in order to get the coffee bean is, purely sourced, and the farmers and the workers who work on the farm are treated fairly. And that's quite interesting, highlighting all that. So, Wild Irish Chocolates, Country Clare. If you love chocolate, and I sure do, you simply have to visit Wild Irish Chocolates. So, where over 80 chocolates are handmade in a small artisan factory, there are open plain production area where you can see the chocolates being made and packaged by the talented workers. So after learning about the process, you can taste what's in production and even make suggestions for new tasty flavors. So here we go with drinks. Rogue & Co. Country Rose Common. So Rogue & Co. is a modern cafe on the Rose Common Town Main Street with dark charcoal walls and plush armchairs. The perfect place to wrap your hand around a steaming cup of coffee. Stay for lunch and try their mouth-watering sandwiches and salads, as well as an extensive wine selection. And here we go with and another aspect of is more of a coffee roaster. So, Brockus Coffee Roaster Country Tippery. So, Brockus Coffee Roasters is over 1800, 18s. It's an over 18s coffee bar that runs. So, I'm guessing saying you have to be an adult to go here. That runs tours of the roastery and classes on how to make the perfect Irish coffee and bake. Yeah, there we go. Here we go, because of, alcohol with Baileys, lattes with the Baileys. So the owners import a high-quality, ethically sourced beans directly from specifically coffee-grade farms across the world and roast them here in the Bird Hill Country Tappery. All right, so what do y'all think as far as, wrapping up and reaching the end about the aspect of what I just said and talking about Ireland, Irish food, and specifically focusing in on the breakfast, with the tradition of the breakfast is what that's steamed from, and then going in on the modern aspect of Ireland as far as hidden gems and different restaurants that you might like to try. You want to, interested in traveling Ireland, and just to get, I think it gets a nice balance about the feel and, a different thought process about Ireland, or what comes to mind when you think about Ireland as far as what is, come to, more than the rolling green hills and stuff like that. So, reach out to me. Again, email, Substack, X, YouTube. It would be greatly appreciated. And I will respond to you because I appreciate the listeners out there, and I appreciate when you like to give your feedback. All right, so this reaches the end of the Harboring Light. Tune in turn up, and absolutely take care. Bye-bye for now.